You know, it's a little weird making a review about Dead Cells after all the controversies surrounding reviews about Dead Cells, but whatever man, it's 2021, it's been long enough, right? IGN might have ruined it for everybody else by completely plagiarizing a small creator's review, but we're just gonna ignore that and do the best we can. Dead Cells is a roguelite, which means it's a game where if you die, you die in real life. Kidding, you just gotta go back to the start of the game again. I'll be honest, I've been so hooked on these games ever since I first played Hades earlier this year. I don't know if it's the fact that they're typically so hard that they'll make you want to smash your head against a wall. You know, maybe I'm addicted to the pain or something. Or it could just be the fact that roguelites have the most visible progression system of any genre out there. Each time you make it a little bit further into the ever-changing labyrinths, you know that you're just getting better and better at the game. But Dead Cells is particularly special because the whole experience completely relies on you improving your skills. Not to say you don't need to be good at Hades to beat it, but Dead Cells is unique in the fact that there really aren't any huge permanent upgrades to make you feel completely overpowered. Okay, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. In Dead Cells, you play as a headless dude on a quest to make it out of endless randomized dungeons. And as I said before, if you die, you gotta start all over again. But as much as dying in Dead Cells can get frustrating, it never feels like a major setback. Every time you do a run, you also unlock a bunch of new weapons as you progress. None of them feel super OP or anything, they just give you more options for different playstyles. You can unlock whips, spears, swords, bows, shields, you name it. Unlocking these weapons is definitely what makes Dead Cells feel fresh every time you start a new run, because these abilities can completely change the way you play. A run with a bow or crossbow will feel completely different than a run where you're strictly using close combat melee weapons. In order to unlock these weapons, you have to collect cells, which are given to you at random for killing enemies. Once you collect enough cells, you can use them towards more power-ups and weapons. After about 20 hours of playing, I still feel like I've barely scratched the surface with the amount of weapons you can unlock, which is both a positive and negative. For one, having so many options of play is great for any game, and it only lengthens the playtime. On the other hand, once you find a weapon you like using, there really isn't a reason to keep unlocking new ones. Even though I have at least 25 different weapons, I always resort to my favorite if I can find it. Dead Cells is at its best when you can't find that weapon that you love, because you have to be more crafty with a playstyle you aren't used to. That being said, there are also permanent upgrades and costumes you can unlock, so there are more places to put your cells. Like I was saying at the start of this video, the difficulty in Dead Cells feels extremely balanced. Dead Cells heavily relies on your skills improving as you go, which I appreciate more than becoming extremely overpowered with permanent upgrades. I also really like the variety of enemies and the fact that even the weakest of monsters can kill you if you get too cocky. It's really fun figuring out how to deal with every enemy, learning when to dodge and find weak points, which only makes combat that much more intuitive. It's also so intense coming across a new monster and having no clue how to approach it, which was also my favorite part about Dark Souls. By the way, people compare Dark Souls and Dead Cells a lot for its combat and difficulty, but Dead Cells to me feels like a much more balanced game. I kinda get where people are coming from, but there's definitely a lot less random bullshit in Dead Cells. Another thing I appreciate about this game is that it encourages speedrunning. At the end of each map, there's rewards for accomplishing a level within a certain amount of time. And once I figured out this was a thing, it made my playstyle become a lot more efficient and even stylish. Plus, every time you finish a run, you unlock higher difficulty modes, which continues to add more and more new stuff to the game. The level design in Dead Cells is also pretty strong. As I mentioned before, each map is randomly generated to keep every run fresh, and there are so many hidden secrets to find if you look hard enough. I think the pixel art style works really well for each biome, and the music that coincides is pretty decent too. Although Dead Cells is definitely one of those games where you can just throw on your own music or a podcast in the background without really losing any of the magic, which if anything is a plus for me. Back to the level design. At the end of each map you will come across different gates, which will take you to a bunch of different biomes. Each map leads to the same place, but choosing which gate to go through could make or break a run. Some biomes are easier to traverse than others, but it's the more challenging gates that will get you better upgrades for your run. I like that there are different paths you can take to progress because it really keeps things fresh. However, much like the weapons, it's easy to stick to the maps that you are used to. Again, this could just be a me thing, but I definitely started using certain gates more than others. When it comes to Dead Cells, you can tell that the developers had a really good time making this game. So many games these days are so focused on being this huge event with overly convoluted lore and cinematic cutscenes, but Dead Cells feels really simple, yet it's filled with so much passion. I'm gonna go ahead and give Dead Cells a 9 out of 10. For what it's attempting to accomplish, it's almost flawless. This game is so worth it. If you haven't already, you should definitely check it out. Also, if you want to check out more of my reviews weekly, make sure to subscribe. We're getting super close to 9,000 subscribers, which blows my mind. And my goal by the end of the year is 10,000, so if you want to help me out and watch some fun videos along the way, definitely subscribe. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, keep gaming to the fullest, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!